Before we begin, you make sure you have your xampp installed. I already have that installed and I'm not going to install that again. So I'm just going to close this tab, but make sure you have it downloaded and you install it on your machine before you continue. Then the next thing is to download Composer, which I'm going to actually download and install right away because I'm going to show you how we can set up a simple project with Laravel. I'm going to click on that, and I already have this downloaded. Let me just go ahead and install it. And I'm going to click on install for all users. Then I'm going to click on next. Automatically it should be asking you to add this to your path, so just allow that and you click on next, next, and install Composer. So once your Composer is done installing, the next thing you have to do is to head over to Laravel documentation, and we're just going to grab this line of code. So what you actually see here is Composer Global require Laravel installer. So it's kind of telling us that we have to install Laravel globally. If you're familiar with Node.js, that's exactly when you use the global flag, that's the -g flag, to install a package globally. So let's just go ahead and grab that line of code, and I'm going to open my commander. So my commander is what I do prefer than git bash. You can also use your git bash to install whatever you want to install. Run your bash as an administrator. And then let's hit paste. And automatically it's going to install the Laravel for us globally. Let's just give this some couple of seconds, then we can continue. So right away we have our Laravel installed globally, and we can just use the Laravel flag to create a new application. But mind you, we are going to stick with the one I said that we are going to be making use of using the Composer. So right now we have our Composer installed. So what you just have to do next is to come over to your local C drive, go over to the XAMPP folder, and this htdocs folder is where we are going to be uploading our application. So if you can notice here, I have an application I already created before. So right here is where we are going to be installing our application. So the way we can do that is to make sure that we are inside that folder in our git bash or in our terminal or in our commander. And quickly I'm just going to type down Composer, create projects, prefer this Laravel. So I'm just going to now give this a name. So let's just give this, for now, let's just give it a start name. Oh, sorry, that is in the wrong directly. So I'm just going to list this htdocs, I guess. Okay, then we can run that command once more. And let's just give this a couple of seconds. But while this is done, while this is creating, we can just come over to the htdoc folder, click on the xampp apache conf. In extra, we are going to edit this vhost conf file. So right here you can see we are going to add some virtual hosts that we are going to be using automatically on our local server. So I'm just going to copy this down. So this document root points to the directory part of our application and public folder inside the directory part of our application. So if you can recall, we are using start. I'm just going to clear this and use start. And I'm going to save that. I'm just going to use start.com. Or maybe I can use startlara.com. I just want to use a name that's not going to have or affect anything on our local host. So I'm just going to go over to this PC on your local drive, come over to Windows, come over to System32, drivers, etc. Then we are going to edit this vhost file as an administrator. The way we can do that is to open our notepad, but make sure you open your notepad as administrator. Don't just open it directly. So run that as an administrator, then open that and you can select all files, edit that same vhost file, and you can see we have to do app.com, and beneath that I'm just going to say 127.121. We can just say start lara.com. So that's the same name that we are using for this one. So make sure that it's the same name that you used here that you are using on your vhost file. So I'm just going to save that and quickly close them, and that is done. Then we are just going to allow this to finish. Then we can start our xampp. Then once we start our xampp, we can visit startlara.com, and automatically we are going to see the Laravel application working perfectly on our local machine. Right away it is done. Next thing we can do is to go over to that start directory, and I'm going to list this. You can see everything inside that project folder. We can actually run this line of code over here. I guess this PHP artisan serve. Let's just go ahead and do that. PHP artisan serve, and it should run our application for us on PHP. So make sure you have your xampp opened. So I'm just going to run that as an administrator. And start your Apache and your MySQL. So just start your MySQL, because shortly we are going to be dealing with the models. Then automatically we already have our MySQL started. So you can see when we visit this link, it's actually going to open the application for us. So you can see we have the application open, but we are still kind of restricted in some things. So that's why we are not going to be making use of it. So let's go ahead and visit startlara.com, and you can see it's visit that same URL. So that's how we can set up a simple Laravel application. And also, if you don't want to make use of these steps that we did, you can actually use a HTSL to point all incoming requests to the public folder, and it's still going to work perfectly the same way. But let's just stick to this for now, and in the next part we are going to explore more on Laravel. So guys, don't forget to hit the like button and also the subscribe button, and also do comment and share with your friends. So thank you very much, and see you on the next part.